Well, hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're doing Halloween in December. Well, this year on the channel, we squeezed in a few Halloween-themed episodes, and I had comments from quite a few of you that asked that you'd like to see what my wife and I do for Halloween night. Now, Halloween is one of our favorite times of the year, and I figured that it would be fun to kind of show you what our setup was like this year. Now guys, we kind of toned it back a bit this year because we weren't sure on the weather, we weren't sure what was going to happen, but either way, let's sit back just for the fun of it and see how it went on Halloween night. Well, as this video progresses, I will be pausing from time to time so that you can see the different decorations, and we'll start right about here. Now, this is our Grim Reaper that we made on the show quite some time ago, and he is still standing the test of time. He is out there every Halloween. Some of these decorations can't be put out if the weather is wet at all, so sometimes they get put out, sometimes they don't, but our Grim Reaper has been out every year. Well, from the Grim Reaper, we can look up and see that we have our vampire on the roof. And that vampire actually has a name, and his name is Cedric. I made this costume years ago for myself. I pretty much retired it when I went with my Grim Reaper costume, and it has been on Cedric ever since. So this year, Cedric got his own special place up on the carport roof. In the background, we can see the skull that we made here on the show, and one of our favorite features, it was actually kind of devised through COVID, was this candy chute, and the children placed their buckets underneath that skull, and up top is where the candy is dropped into that chute, and it comes down, of course, into their buckets. Here we have the lanterns that we made on the show. Quite a lot of this actually was made on the show. And our howling dogs, what would Halloween be without them? And a few candles, battery operated LED candles. And of course, what would Halloween be without a graveyard? These tombstones were made also on the show out of 2-inch thick styrofoam insulation. And the zombies in our window are always a big hit. So some more shots here of our tombstones. We've added the zombies coming out of the ground for this year, which everyone seemed to really like. Sort of changed it up. Normally the tombstones are just spread around the front yard, but this year with a couple candles and a few skulls and some skeletal hands coming out of the ground, it really pumped it up a bit. Now, this screen here, this is a projector that's in the house, and this just plays on repeat over and over and over again. It has different scenes that you can use if you want, but we're kind of partial to the zombies, so we kind of keep it there. And you know what? The kids think it's really creepy, and they love it every year when it's on. A shop-made spider web with a few spiders and a little cocoon doll, of course. This is one of the first decorations that go out for the Halloween season because it really doesn't matter if it gets wet. And then, of course, we have Billy Bones and Norman, our two skeletons who sit in old dog cages in the front yard, with a little bit of extra kind of flame lighting on them to make them just a little bit creepier. And they change from year to year depending on what our mood is and how we want to display them. Some years they're tied up in the tree. And of course this web right here, this is one of the larger webs that we have. This is a new addition this year, and it went out first. So I'm just going to pause the video here for a second so you can see the pumpkin that my wife carved. And of course, he's looking a little scared with his pipe cleaner hair sticking off in all directions. And the reason he's looking a little scared is because of, well, David, our werewolf. And of course, he was named from the main character of the movie American Werewolf in London. So his name is David, and every year he has been a staple of our Halloween display, and everybody really seems to love him. They run up and get their picture taken with him, and it's just a lot of fun. But he missed a few years because he is one of the decorations that cannot go out in wet weather. The electronics just do not like the rain. Well, various pumpkins, various skeletons spread around the yard. The leaves that fall from the local trees kind of make a nice little effect on the lawn as well. But between the lights and the skeletons, the pumpkins, the howling dogs, the Halloween lanterns, the candy chute, it is just a fun time. Everybody that comes out has a great time, and we have a lot of fun with it every year. But one of the most fun things for me is getting into my Grim Reaper costume. This costume has been one of the highlights of our Halloween night for years, as long as it's not raining, because of course the stilts do not work well on wet leaves. It just makes it too dangerous for me. But people love to see the 9-foot green Grim Reaper walking around the property, and some think it's a statue until I move, and they have a lot of fun with it. I have families posing for pictures, little kids giving me high fives, and of course Halloween wouldn't be Halloween without Pop's girl showing up to say hi to her 9-foot tall Grim Reaper grandfather. It's a lot of fun, guys, and I wouldn't trade it.
Wave, dance, do something.
And there you have it. Halloween in December. Guys, Halloween for years has been on the decline. We have noticed that there's less and less people participating. There are less and less people that are coming out. There are less and less people shelling out. It could be for many reasons. It could be for economical. It could be that people just don't participate. There's lots of things that cause an event like this to kind of decline. But we have noticed in the past few years, it's back on the upswing. This year, it was really great to see. We had over 80 children that arrived at the house, and they all enjoyed the displays. They all enjoyed the 9-foot tall Grim Reaper. They all enjoyed meeting Maleficent. They all enjoyed the free candy and the fun that's involved in the season. And I know that there are a lot of you out there, or some of you at least, that don't participate or don't really do Halloween, but you know what? That's up to you. That is 100% your choice. I don't judge anybody for not wanting to participate in Halloween, but you know what? It's such a fun season, and it's for the kids. The kids love it. The kids have a great time, and you know what? How can you go wrong when you've got all of these kids coming up? Even in that Grim Reaper costume, I've got young children coming up posing for pictures with me because they're so happy to be there and they think it's so cool and so much fun. When you hear a kid walking away from your house screaming, "This place is my favorite," that just makes it all worthwhile. Guys, if you haven't participated in Halloween, you don't have to go as far out as what my wife and I go. All you need to do, turn the light on over your door, maybe put a pumpkin out on your front porch, and hand out a little bit of candy. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. This one's been fun. Halloween's always a fun season. It's always sad to see it go. It's always exciting to see it come. But either way, guys, it's just a load of fun, and I hope that wherever you live in your area, I hope that you're seeing it come on the upswing, and I hope that you're participating in it. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We have a fantastic audience base here, guys, and I'm hoping that you're going to consider becoming a part of that. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the content. It's something a little bit different. You know, it's been a while coming, but I had those computer issues and had problems trying to get the show into production. But here we are in December now, and it's here. Better late than never. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're going to try some of this stuff for yourself at Halloween and shell out in your neighborhood when October 31st rolls around again. And more importantly, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.